Hello students, welcome to video on defining a class in C++ program. In this video, we are going to learn how to define a class, declaration of a class, data members and member functions in a class, private and public access specifiers, member function definition outside the class, member function definition inside the class, and examples of class and member functions. So let us start with defining a class. When we are defining a class in C++ program, actually we are creating a new data type, that is user defined data type. The class definition has two parts, one class declaration and second is member function definitions. In class declaration there are members. It describes which are the various members in the class, what data belongs to that class, and which are the various functions that will operate on that data. Thus it indicates the type of data and the scope of members. The scope indicates whether the data and functions are accessible within the class or outside the class. The second part, member function definitions, it has the function definitions in detail, the detailed code, C++ code of functions operating on class data members. So the functions are defined with C++ code to perform the specific task on the data members within the class. Let us see the general format of class declaration. So this is the general form of class declaration. It starts with a keyword class followed by the class name. Here class name can be any identifier. Beginning of class with opening brace. Then the private section begins with private keyword followed by a colon. In private section we can have variable declarations and function declarations. Then second section is the public section, which is indicated by a public keyword followed by a colon. In public section also we can have a variable declarations and function declarations. Then you have to end the class with closing brace followed by a semicolon. Let us understand the class with the help of diagram. Here this outer box represents the entire class. This class is divided into two sections rather. Upper section is private section, lower section is public section. The private section consists of data as well as functions, while public section also consists of data as well as functions. The private section functions can access the data of private section only, while the functions in public section can access the data of public section as well as the data of private section. So in this way the public section functions have the access to both data, that is private data as well as public data. Then outside the class there is an external world, so there is no access to the external world to the private section of a class. Means the private data and private functions are not accessible outside the class, while the public data and the public functions are accessible to the external world, that is outside the class. So there is access to external world for the public section data and the functions. Let us see the private, so class members in detail. First, the class member is data members, which are indicated by these blue arrows. Whatever the variable declarations we are doing in the class, all are known as data members, because these variables represent data of a class. The second member is member functions. This is indicated by these brown arrows. Whatever the function declarations, functions are declared within the class, these are known as member functions. Member functions are also known as methods. So thus every class has two types of members, data members and member functions or methods. Apart from this, there are two sections in the class, just we have learned in previous slide, that is the private section and public section. This private section is indicated by a private keyword and the public section is indicated by a public keyword. These private and public are known as access specifiers or visibility modes or visibility labels. So let us see these access specifiers or visibility modes in detail. So first, private access specifier or private visibility mode, which is the first part of our class. Generally, variables are declared as private. Thus, these variables are known as private data members. So whatever the variables declared are known as data members, and the data members in the private section are known as private data members. These data members can be accessed within class only. As they are private, they are accessed within the class only. They are not accessible to the external world. In this way, the data members are hidden from external world, or you can say the data members are protected from external world, as they are not accessible outside the class or external world. The second access specifier or the visibility mode is public mode. Generally, functions are declared in this public mode. Thus, these public functions are methods. So they are known as public member functions or methods. These public member functions can be accessed within the class as well as accessible to external world. So unlike private data members, the member functions can be accessed within class as well as outside class also. Thus, public members are not hidden from external world. They are accessible, means not hidden, they are not protected. So whenever you want the data, which is the main entity of or class or the object, that is always declared in the private section using private visibility mode or private access specifier, while the member functions are declared in the public section using public access specifier or public visibility mode, so that the external entities can access these member functions, call these member functions, and the member functions will perform the operations on the data within the class, which are private data members. So this is the effect of private access specifier and public access specifier. They are also known as visibility modes or visibility labels. Let us understand the concept with the help of example. So here I am going to define a class item. So first of all I will write class keyword followed by item. Item is the name of my class. Beginning of class with opening brace. Now I will start the private section with private keyword followed by a colon. In this I will declare data members that is the variables. First data member is item number, which is of integer type. Second data member is name, which is a character type array. Third data member is cost, which is float type of variable. So like this, in this private section I declared 3 data members: item number, name and cost. Now let us go for public section. In public section I will declare the functions, member functions. The first member function I am declaring get data, void get data. Void is a return type, get data is a function. There are no arguments, so here empty parentheses are there. Second member function is put data. So get data function will perform the input operation to read the data for a class, and put data will display the data on screen. After declaration of member function, let us end the class with closing brace followed by semicolon. So this is how the class is defined, having data members and member functions. The data members in private section and member functions in public section. Second part of the class definition is member function definition. In first part we studied class declaration. Now whatever the member functions declared in the public section, now we are going to define them. So there are 2 ways to define the member functions. First, function definition outside the class. The function code is defined separately after the class declaration. So in a class we have a single function declaration line. Now this function declaration we have to define in detail outside the class. That is, we have to write a code for that function outside the class. Second way is function definition inside the class. Instead of outside the class, you can write the function definition within the class also. So the function code is defined inside the class instead of only function declaration. So in function declaration, in class we have written a single line function declaration. Instead of that, replace that class declaration with the code. Let us see the member function definition outside the class, how it is defined outside the class. This is the syntax or the general format. First, the return type, that is what type of data the function will return. Then the class name, that is the member function is of which class. Then this is the new operator, that is a scope resolution operator, double colon scope resolution operator, followed by a function name, and in the parenthesis the list of arguments, that is argument declaration. Scope resolution operator indicates that the scope of function within a class. So the function is belonging to which class. So that relationship is established between the class and function using this scope resolution operator. Here the function belongs to this class. That is the relationship between the class and the function. Then beginning of function definition, declare the local variables if required. Then actual function body, here you will have the C++ statements or the library functions to perform the specific task of member function. Then at the end there will be a return statement to return the value and end the function. So this is the general form of member function definition outside the class. Let us understand with the help of examples. The first example we will see of the first member function, that is get data function. So this is the class. At the left side of your screen there is a class declaration. In the class declaration we have data members and member functions. In the member functions we have just put two lines of function declaration, void get data and void put data. Now this void get data declaration, for this we are going to write the function definition in detail. So here void is the return type, atom is the class name, get data is the function name, and parenthesis void is the arguments. So as per the syntax we studied in last slide, here you have to write this format, that is the header of the member function, void atom scope resolution operator get data void. So here the get data function belongs to atom class. Beginning of function. Now I will perform output operation to display a message, enter item number. Then using scene I will accept the item number value. Again display the message, enter item name. Using getS I will accept the name of item, then accept the cost of item and end the function. So this is the complete function definition of get data member function outside the class. Let us see one more example of put data. So in this class declaration we have studied this get data definition. Now let us go for put data definition. So again here void is the return type, item is the class name, put data is the function name, and void within parenthesis arguments. So here this line indicates that put data is the member function which is a member of item class. It is returning nothing, that is a void function. It is not accepting any arguments. Beginning of function, then I'll perform the output operation, display the item number, then display item name, display item cost, empty return, that is as it is a void function it is not returning anything, so return nothing, end of the function. So this is the complete function definition of put data member function. In this way we can define the member function outside the class. Now let us go for member function definition inside the class. The general form of defining the member function inside the class is very simple. It is just like a regular C function, that is a return type, function name, in the parenthesis argument declarations. Beginning of function, local variable declarations if required, the function body which will consist of the C++ statements to perform a specific task, return statement to return the value, end of the function. So this is the general format of member function definition inside the class. There is nothing new in this. We already studied in C programming how to define a function, that is how to write a function definition. The same format is there for member function definition inside the class. Let us define member functions inside the class using examples. So here I'll start again with the class declaration, that is the class keyword followed by the name of the class is atom, beginning of the class, then private section. In private section I am going to declare data members. The first data member is item number, second data member is name, third data member is cost. Now I will go for public section. In public section I will declare or define member functions. Now as these member functions I am going to define within the class, so here there will be no member function declaration directly you have to write the function definition of get data and put data. So I will continue the member function definitions here on the next section. First, get data. So here, as per the general form we studied in the last slide, you have to write the return type, that is void, name of the function, get data, no argument, that is void. So this is the member function definition inside the class. The function is get data. Now write the code of get data. In the code, that is the function body, I will accept the value of item number, accept the value of name of item, accept the cost of item in the function body. So like this, here I have defined the get data function code in detail. Second, now I will start with the put data function definition. Here again the return type is void, put data, function name, void means no argument. So this is the header line of second member function, that is put data. Let us write the code for put data function. Display item number using cout, display item name, display item cost, empty return, as this function is not returning any, it is a void function, so it is empty return, end of the function. So in this way, now I have written the function definition, member function definition of get data followed by the member function definition of put data. Now I am going to end the class using closing brace followed by semicolon. So this is the complete class definition, which consists of private section. In private section, the declaration of data members, and in public section, the definitions of member functions, and then ending the class. So all are included in a single entity. In this video, we have learned defining a class means creating a user defined data type, because class is a user defined data type, or it is also the abstract data type. In a class there are two parts: declaration of class and member function definitions. In declaration of a class, we learn data members and member functions. Data members means variable declarations, and member functions means function declarations. The member functions are also known as methods. Then we learn how to define member function definitions, that is two ways: member function definitions outside the class and member function definitions inside the class. Thank you for watching this video on defining a class in a C++ program.